Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Little Ruby's Daycare Encounters YouTube channel, where we emphasize play-based learning, wellness, and research-based solutions to issues in early childhood education and in education generally. Today, we're here with another episode of WAGE. WAGE stands for World Advocacy for Growth in Education. With WAGE, we're dedicated to intervene educators from all over the world. And you know that when you talk to educators from all over the world, you're able to compare and contrast educational systems and see what happens. We've been everywhere on WAGE. Excuse me. We've been to the Philippines, we've been to Paraguay, we've been to Russia, we've been to Brazil, we've been to Nigeria, and a whole lot of other countries. But today, we're going to Kenya. I have an amazing guest with me here today, and I'm going to bring him in so he can introduce himself to you. Hi, Jackson.
Hi, how are
Hi,
you?
how are you?
I'm fine, doing good.
Yeah.
Good to see you. You're looking good.
You too. You're looking
Yeah,
good.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Can you tell us a brief summary about yourself? Give us a little bio of what you do and who you are.
Oh yeah. So my name is Jackson Ogugu Misiani. I know in Nigeria, Ogugu means something different.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Nigeria.
It does. We have it as a name, but it's not my tribe, so I really don't know what it means.
Oh yeah, I've seen it somewhere. Yeah. So I'm from Kenya, currently in Nairobi, Kenya, the capital city. I've been a teacher for 8 years now, counting close to 8 years. And as a teacher, I'll say basically, unlike before, I didn't change. We used to have these the teacher doing the whole thing, like talking to students, giving directions and stuff like that. That's the kind of education system that we went through. Personally, that's what I was put through. But then growing up, I realized I needed more. I needed something different. I needed the teacher to do something different to me and to other students. So I decided, as a teacher, I said to give that back to the students. And by that I mean, as a student, I realized that there's some students who maybe some of us or another that were overlooked in most cases.
Right.
Yeah, by teachers. They always focused on the bright students. They always focused on the one who can answer the most questions and stuff like that. Yeah. So as a teacher, I decided now I'm going to fish out the little percent that hasn't gotten the opportunity to be brought to the limelight. Yeah, someone hasn't noticed them. So that is basically what I have embarked on, and I've done it for close to 3 years now, 4 years on that specific path. I'm looking at the students who are less privileged, the students who feel discouraged, the students who feel they have been left behind. You understand?
That's amazing.
So,
amazing.
Yeah. So I don't go for the majority. That's why I shifted from the classroom setup to homeschooling. So currently I'm homeschooling, my target being some of those students that at the end of the day, after the school, they've gone through a lot. Yeah. The teachers never acknowledged them. They never knew they were there. All right.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So we talk to these students, and I can tell you that I have shared with some of these students, and they turned out to be to do wonders, in their studies, because all these students need is to be reassured.
Right.
Yeah. In my journey as a teacher, I believe that there is no unintelligent student. I have never figured out that this student is better than this other one. What happens is, before I judge this student to be not capable of handling maybe a certain subject, or is not able to pursue I first try to understand maybe from where it's coming from. What is he dealing with? What are they dealing with?
Right.
As children, they could be coming from maybe the abusive family, maybe they slept hungry, maybe there's a lot in their minds, right? They're not loved well at home, you understand?
Right. Right. Right.
So,
Right.
so these students, you realize that if they come to school and you are again burdening them with these assignments, pushing them so hard, you don't want to sit with them, know exactly what they're going through. They end up not even performing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah, and that's
Right.
why I decided, okay, fine, I'm going to now shift
Focus.
my attention and focus on these few individuals who are overlooked. You understand? And now what I realized, some of these students, actually most of them, they are good in the extracurricular activities. Some are good musicians.
Wow. Yeah.
Some are good athletes. Yeah. They do wonders. So you realize that there's an article I did. If you check on my LinkedIn posts, I posted about this student who shared an experience with me, because I learned from the student a lot.
Right.
He was doing so well in extracurricular activities. Yeah, he was the number one. When it is sports day at school.
Yeah.
They now look for him. Yeah, where is student X?
Oh.
Yeah, he's our nice striker. You understand?
Oh,
and then when he's at the field, he performs so well, scores some goals, and then they win. He helps them win trophies. You understand? But when when the student is at school in a classroom, the teacher don't recognize that student. Yeah, the teacher now blame him not performing. It's like, you are always failing in my subjects. You are always behind. You always come late. But they forget to at least remember that, okay, you did best in this. You did you're good at this, so that they can support them. Those are some of the things I do. And when I started this journey, I think I've handled quite a number of students, and I can tell you that right now, if I was to come with some of them on the interview, you'll be so amazed at now.
Oh man,
how bright they are looking, and they're doing so well for themselves in their life, and I'm so happy for that. So that's why I decided, okay, fine. The demand now is quite too high, because it's not one student who goes through that. They're quite a number of them.
Right.
So that's why I decided, okay, fine. What do I do? Let me get some more teachers on board.
Right.
Let me get some more teachers on board. So we sit down, tell them,
work together.
Yeah, let's work together.
So
currently, I have a center. Of course, though I haven't put it on. Maybe I haven't put something like a website for everyone to be able to see what we are doing. But I'm doing something with the teachers. I approach these teachers. We have meetings. We have trainings. I try to let them understand that the way we approach these students matters a lot. So we try to change the whole idea of how we talk to this. We interact with these students of ours. And so far, we have gotten quite a number of teachers who are willing to work with us through this journey. We're changing the narrative of the teacher giving all the instructions. I feel the students also deserve that opportunity to be able to express themselves.
Of course.
Say, if something is not working for them, let's look for another way. Not to push. If you can, don't push them so hard to do things the way you want as a teacher, but for them to give their opinion as well, to tell you exactly, if this is not working for me, can we try this? You don't need to wake me up 6 a.m. in the morning so I can be able to perform. I can still wake up at 10 and
still be smart.
And you understand? It doesn't mean that if I go back to I like talking. It's something I like, so I can talk about it. Yes,
and I like to listen.
When I look back from the way the kind of system we were put through, it was programmed. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
we were being programmed.
Yeah.
They were trying to
Yeah.
fix who we are.
Yeah.
You need to be at school by 8 a.m., by
Yeah.
6 a.m. You
Yeah.
understand? By
You have
10,
to be a doctor or a lawyer.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
they didn't give us that opportunity to be able to at least to air our views, to
Right.
tell them what we really wanted.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So such opportunities, that's what I feel I should give to these students,
Right.
so that they can become what they wish, what they want. If
Right.
they want to pursue music, I support them on that.
Right. Of
If they
course.
want to pursue their career in whichever field, I support them on that.
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that is me in brief. However, that's what we are doing here in Kenya.
Yeah.
And we are loving the whole education. We feel like, okay, fine. The coming years, maybe we'll be able now to spread out the entire country. Kenya being a learning state, I call it a learning country because every day we encounter
You're learning something new.
something new. Yeah. And even the governor. There's a lot to do.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you so much. That is what I do as
Yeah.
as
I
a teacher.
see. I like what you wrote here. When I had asked for a bio, you said one thing I have realized is that there's no unintelligent student. Every child, as long as they are provided with the right materials and allowed to learn at their pace, their results will be amazing. That's
Exactly.
amazing. That's
Yeah.
amazing. And I don't know I'm sorry, I know you want to say something, but before we move on here, I don't know if you would mind the article on your LinkedIn about the child, if I can post it down here so people can go and look at it and see, that you have success stories. And also, does your organization, do you have a name for it? You have a name?
Yeah. Currently we are working under Elimu Nyumbani.
Oh.
Elimu Nyumbani is a Kiswahili. It's a Swahili name.
Oh, okay.
In Kenya, Swahili and English, those are our national languages. It's Elimu meaning education. Nyumbani is a home, so learning from home. So learning.
Oh, wow.
Right, Elimu Nyumbani. So, we can check it out. Though we haven't put much for it, but soon I'm working with some experts. We're going to. Because now we have realized the demand is so high, and we need to reach out to so many people across the country.
Right.
And if possible, we might even spread out. So we're going to put up something we are working on. I won't be able to reveal the details of it.
Sure.
But once it's out, maybe somewhere in towards the media, we'll be able to put it up.
Sure.
For everyone to access and learn. You'll be able to learn from it, be inspired for it. Students could go there and get inspired, and teachers could go there and learn one or two. Parents could equally go there and know how to handle their students back at home. Yeah, it's a big thing. We are trying to change the whole narrative of the education.
And when that is complete and you want to come back here, that's fine, definitely. Yeah, so we can talk about it again. And show the website, maybe talk to some of your students. It's going to be amazing, Give it more. Yeah. So we'll come back to that. But before we keep talking, this is so fun. I want to ask. I want to ask you now, tell me where you are currently and tell us about where you are and what kind of food and what kind of drink you have there.
Oh yeah, like I mentioned earlier, I currently am in Nairobi, Kenya. That's our capital city. Yeah. Let me get this question again. So where am I? And
what kind of food and drink?
Yeah, it is okay. Yeah, nice. So in Kenya, basically, if you were to visit Kenya, number one, the staple food, number one food you'll meet is nyama choma. Could you say nyama choma?
Nyama choma.
yeah, nyama choma. That's our number one. Yeah, and also ugali. Ugali is.
Oh yeah, I've seen ugali on
ugali.
YouTube.
Yes, ugali is a very actually that delicacy. Everyone eats that. Yeah, you go to ghetto, they'll find it. Yeah, ugali, skuma wiki, kales.
So
Yeah,
ugali
and
is made from what? Corn or
corn. Yeah,
flour? Corn. Oh,
yeah,
okay, okay,
yeah. It's
okay.
flour. It's, yeah, just maize flour.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know whether you cook that in Nigeria or in
We
the US. Do
we
you?
have a I actually have a friend, Kenya friend on YouTube, and
Yeah,
she does ugali all the time. It's like when you have ugali, you have to have soup or stew, right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. You have to have that. You can take ugali with vegetables. You can take it with any kind of stew. So
anything.
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice meal. And you see, most of us Kenyans, if you don't have that in a week,
Oh
then
yeah.
I think that is something that needs to be addressed. Something is wrong somewhere.
Oh
Yeah, so
yeah.
it's just yeah, it's and then we have also in our favorite drink. I can say Kenya is a tea drinker, drinking country.
So
It's a
tea.
tea drinking country. Yeah,
Mm,
we tea drinkers, man. Of course, yeah,
mm,
we grow coffee and we
mm.
export coffee, but most of us
You drink
uh,
tea.
we, we drink tea a lot. We
Mm,
drink me being one of them. I do tea a lot.
mm.
Tea is basically more one of the drinks we like, and also yeah, basically tea. We have nyama choma. We have, and there is one I forgot to mention, githeri. Did you
Hmm.
say githeri?
Very.
Githeri is a mixture of corn and beans. So like you mix them
Oh,
together and then you cook them. So beans
sounds like
and
fun.
corn. Yeah, so
Yum.
just to mention, those are some of the foods that we like
In
most
Kenya.
mostly in Kenya. And one more thing to add about Kenya, you asked. I'll say Kenya. By now, Kenya is known to be the country of
Athletes.
athletes. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah, we we are so fast. Yeah, we're good at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the likes of Kipchoge. Who do you know?
Yeah. I don't
Yeah,
know how to say their names, but my favorite sports to watch is track and field, and I see you
yeah.
guys running those races. Yeah.
Yeah. That one, and of course, you know Barack Obama Senior.
I don't think so.
Barack Obama Senior,
Oh,
father
Barack
to
Obama Senior, father to Barack Obama.
exactly.
Oh,
Yeah, this is his own country, man. This is his country. Yeah,
that's Obama's country, definitely.
exactly. Yeah, he came
Yeah.
here when he was in power. He once visited, and he went
Hmm.
to his hometown. Yeah, and
Yeah.
do you know? Yeah, I think now Lupita Nyong'o.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Exactly. You see,
Yeah,
yeah.
the
So
actress.
yeah, the actress
Kenya.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's Kenya.
beautiful girl.
Nice. Yeah, so those are some of our products. Kenya. Kenya is a very interesting country, I can say. And
Yeah.
also, if you happen to come, I'll take you to, the wild beast migrations.
No.
Yeah, there's a lot. Kenya, you go visit them,
There's
see
a
how
lot.
migration. There's a lot to learn in Kenya. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. That's just a brief about Kenya.
Kenya.
Very,
That's
very.
amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. So, can you, what, as an educator, we always, something always motivates us to be an educator, Like, what was your motivation to be an educator?
Yeah, let me mention this. What motivated me actually, after school, then I was seated there wondering. But as I as all my time when I was in school, I missed something. There's this thing I missed about how teachers handled us back in the school. They didn't give us some of the key things we needed to propel our lives. Yeah,
Right,
we were only prepared for exams.
right, right.
Yeah, so it was to me, I figured out that it was a teacher just telling you to, okay, just come to class. Your job is to come to class, sit there,
Sit down and listen.
sit down and listen. I
Yeah,
don't care what you think, I don't care
yeah,
what you're feeling. All I want you to do is what I tell you to do.
right.
And yeah, so for me, I figured out, I felt the students, or as students, we needed more. So that was one thing that motivated me to become an educator, because now I said, in order for me to be able to change this whole thing, I need to become the educator, so that I can be able to come back and do the same thing.
Right.
Yeah, so that was one. And two, I have a big passion for kids. Actually, I love kids a lot, and I love spending much time with them. So I figured out how will I end up my life. I can't stay with just my children at home. I needed more. So what I decided to do is to go become an educator, so I can be able to interact more and more with these
children.
Kids. Yeah, children on a daily basis. Something that motivates me, their smiles and everything, that is something else. It changes everything, changes your day. You see that a child smiling and coming back to you in the following morning, trying to share how the experience was. It's a game changer.
It's amazing.
It's very, very amazing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So this Kenya educational system, I interviewed the Nigerian. I'm Nigerian, so most of my education was in Nigeria. Only like my postgraduate, my graduate and all my primary and secondary was in Nigeria. Only my postgraduate education was in the US, was in the US, United States. So in Nigeria, we had then we had the 6334 system. And that means you spend 6 years in primary school, 3 years in junior secondary, 3 years in senior secondary, and then 4, at least, could be more, but at least 4 years in the university. Now, in the United States, we have the K-12 system. So they have kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, and all of that. So how is it in Kenya? How's your educational system in Kenya?
Oh, yeah, thank you. Now in Kenya, we have currently we're having 2 curriculums, whereby one is being phased out by government because of its effectiveness. They're trying to address what the current state of the approach. Actually, they were trying to change the approach. Initially, we had the 844 system, meaning we had 8 years primary level. So starting from year 6, the student had to do the primary level for 8 years, then graduate to secondary school for 4 years, and then do 4 years again in university. Yes, so that is the 844 system. The one that is now, is the one that is being phased out by government. We are so happy for it, because now we're gonna get the 844 system wasn't so good for. It was like locking out so many things. And now we have the new one, which is the CBC, the competence-based curriculum. Competence-based curriculum, that's what we call it here. And for this one, it was broken down a bit further. So we do like 6 years on primary level, and then we have three years in junior secondary, 3 years in senior secondary, and then 3 years minimum in university. So that is the CBC. That is the one now that is projected to take over from the 844.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And how is early years education in Kenya? That is, if it's even called early years, because in the United States it's called early childhood education. How is it in Kenya? Do Kenyans believe in taking their toddlers and preschoolers to school, before they start primary school? Is there any system like that in Kenya?
Yeah, there is a system. Yeah, we call it ECD. The early childhood education, ECD. So early childhood education. Yes. And even now it's even much better, because right now parents can take their kids to school. We call it what is that again? Yeah, as young as 3 years, right?
Okay, right.
Yeah. So, but most of these it starts at 3 years. You can take your kids there. We have a daycare. Now schools can they provide those services, the daycare services, so that a child starts to learn at a very
young age.
tender stage. Yeah, before now they can be fully enrolled. We call it the ECD. And then something again I'll mention is that in the ECD, the early childhood education, parents kind of tend to do much of it. They what I can say is they are responsible for planning, developing, and managing the daily activities for this child. Before bringing them to school. So the parents are more involved in their children, because now for the teachers they're just guiding and helping these kids while in the school. But most of it, the parents take the initiative, are more involved in their
education.
Yeah. So at 3 years, say 3 or 2.5, that is the one I've seen with the least years, 2.5 years, all the way. Yeah.
So no infants, like 0 years, like a child who's just born, no educational system dedicated to them, because here in the United States, early childhood education is 0 to 8 years. So when a child is born, at 6 weeks they can go to daycare or those early childhood educational settings. So when they are daycare, they are still babies, and they are learning to talk. They do sensory activities. They let them touch all kinds of stuff. They walk with them. They do all kinds of activities with them, even if they are babies. So as they're growing, they're helping their brains expand and learn and all that kind of good stuff. So you don't have that kind of system where a child who's like 6 weeks or maybe 2 months old can go to school. You don't have that kind?
For the Kenyan education system,
no.
No. In Kenya, we don't. Okay. For children that young, they mostly with the parents. And I think now, like I mentioned, the parents now they're supposed to take that initiative to teach them all that. But we don't have a facility where they can be taken with maybe 2 weeks or stuff. No.
I'm sorry. I was going to say, I'm sure that is because Kenya is still kind of traditional, and you still have neighbors and family members and people who can help with the child, unlike here, the civilized world.
Yeah.
You have to work. If you don't work, you're going to starve,
You're going to starve, yeah.
You cannot take now people are kind of doing baby-friendly jobs, but not really. Most jobs, you cannot take your babies to work. So you have to find somewhere to take them. So, I think... Okay. So
in Kenya now, I think you just mentioned it. You get someone to take care of your child.
Of the baby, yeah.
The baby, as you go to work and you come back, you meet them in the evening. But now the challenge with that is, that consistency. If you want to train your child, and then there is always that inconsistency in terms of maybe instructions given to this child. So maybe today you did something to them. For a child to learn, you need to do it over and over.
Over and over again, yes.
Over and over, yeah. But now, since as a parent, maybe parents are committed, and as you said, or even here is the same, you have to work. Yeah, you only get a small leave, maybe 3 months, and you're back to work.
Go to work, yeah. And also, growing up in Africa, I think we're more exposed to sensory opportunities, For instance, when I came to the United States, my first question was, where's the sand? There's no sand. If you go to the beach, and some very few places there's sand. But in most places, all the roads are tarred. You can't find sand unless you go to the store and buy it, But in Africa, I kept asking, where is sand? How do we get sand? And somebody's like, go to Home Depot and buy sand, And that's kind of If you say that in Africa, it's like, hey, is your head
Yeah.
still together?
How do you buy? How do you buy sand? You know,
Yeah,
in
they
Africa,
sell.
that is,
So when children are growing up, they let them creep on the sand. Sometimes they
yeah,
even taste it, they eat it. There's some kind of sand. I remember growing up, it was like clay, and we could make things from it.
exactly. Yeah,
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 that kind of opportunity is not really there here. So
yeah,
they
yeah.
people have to buy sand and bring it to class, so the children can play with them. So there's
That's you know, even now, over here we do it like now that it has rained, like it's raining over here.
yeah.
Yeah, you go to some places, you find these kids sliding through it. Yeah,
Oh
like
yeah, mud.
downhill. Yeah, so
Yeah,
they like sit on top of it, then they slide. Yeah, at the highest point, and then they slide down, go
yeah,
back up. They play with it a lot.
yeah,
But telling someone to buy sand,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
in Africa, I think that's a bit.
yeah. And I try. I have a preschool classroom, so I try to give them those experiences that I had because they were amazing. I remember we used to use like candy wrapper, like sweet wrapper. We use it as
Yeah,
money.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It was fun.
But
If there's a broken down stove, you use it as cooking. You cook the sand and mix the mud as soup.
yeah, yeah, I can relate to that. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was fun. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So
very much, very much. Yeah.
very much. So
So
it's
over there, we say, how do children have that opportunity? Do they do or everything if they want to do that? They just how do they play? Let me just ask a quick one. Over
so
here we allow kids to go out.
go everywhere.
They,
Yeah,
yeah, they be
yeah,
creative. Do they want to play
yeah,
with sand? They want to mold things. If they want to do this, they want to cook.
yeah,
I see
yeah,
them even mold. They even they pretend like they put fireplace. They set a fire and they
yep,
bring sand, water. They're trying
yeah,
to cook, pluck some leaves.
yeah, yeah.
Set a
It, it's
table.
it's more in Africa than here. I mean,
Yeah,
and also there are some teachers because I worked at a job and I was like, these kids, they are just maybe they're in the classroom or when they come out, they're sliding on the slide or swinging on the swing. There's no touching of sand and this and that. And the she was like a manager at that job, and she said, I don't like sand. There's worm in sand, so you can't bring sand in the classroom. So so that's the kind of environment sometimes you find yourself in the Western world.
yeah,
Although
yeah,
although there are some places where like it's rural, it's like in the village, they still get to play with sand, they still get to play with mud. But in the cities, before I could find like puddles for the kids to play with, I have to walk a distance because there's no puddles.
yeah,
And the way we got those puddles because the road was somehow broken. There was pothole and the water gathered there, and that's where I take the kids to jump on puddles. So
oh yeah,
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 so depending on where you are, like I've talked to some people, some older people, and they live the way we live in Africa. They climb trees, they walk to school, they did all kinds of stuff, but times are changing. All
yeah,
the roads are getting tarred, so no sand, no puddles, you know, unless you buy stuff or unless you just
yeah,
take a trip to the beach. You have to take a trip to the beach or you go to Home Depot or Lowe's or those kind of stores to buy even rocks. You know how we say
yeah,
stone? There's
yeah.
stone everywhere in Africa. I have to buy stone at the dollar store here.
Wow,
So
wow,
yeah,
wow.
so
Yeah,
it's different.
it is. But I think even over okay, in most of African countries like in Kenya, I
Mhm.
think where we are headed to. There's a part in this country where kids are living the same way you're saying in the US. They don't have
Wow.
access to sun. They don't have access. They don't. They don't even. They're not even allowed to touch the
So
water.
touchdown. Oh
Imagine. And
man.
yeah, there's that part of our country. And there is the other part now where kids are now left freely to
play.
play. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what I can mention is during my course as a teacher and an educator, what I can say about that, maybe to parents who are trying to restrict their kids from that, is that a child's business, like how our business is to go out, work, stuff like that.
Right.
A child's business is to play.
Right.
Amazing. That is their job. Their job is to play. Their job is to be children. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So they need to be allowed to be creative, do all that that they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Let them play. Let them be creative in all ways.
Yeah.
And
they are learning, because I've had some parents, if you watch some of my YouTube channel, so the way we learn, some parents are like, oh, I saw your videos and those kids are just playing, they are not learning. I'm like, no, they are learning. Yeah, that's a different way.
Yeah.
It's play-based learning. That's the best way for kids to learn, so
as a grown person, you look at the child playing, you be like, you've been wasting time, you've been playing all day, come on, you need to be
need to read.
But for a child, they are learning. That's how they learn.
Yeah,
that's how they're learning. That's how if we understand all that, it's gonna be very, very good for the kids. Let's allow them.
Allow them to play, allow them to explore the environment,
Sure. Exactly.
Okay. So the next one is, how do I become a Kenyan educator? Like, for instance, do I have to graduate from secondary school first, or do I have to go to university? How do I become an educator if I want to be in Kenya?
In Kenya, yeah. So in Kenya, I'll say there are two ways around it.
Okay.
Yeah, for you to become an educator first, you can take a 4-year course. That is a bachelor's in education.
Mm-hmm.
After high school, you now go to uni for 4 years, do your bachelor's. Yeah, it takes 4 years. I think most of the
courses,
the degree courses take at least 4 years.
4 years,
you can do that to become a teacher, or you can take another one. For example, now if you want to become a primary school teacher, there is maybe say 3 years. You just do a 1 year postgraduate, and then you get a certificate in education. So you can say a 3 or 4 year bachelor's degree, then you do a 1 year postgraduate in education.
Okay.
So once you complete both, you can become a teacher.
So if you don't have a bachelor's degree, you cannot teach in Kenya?
Now, it's for a primary school teacher, you can teach without a bachelor's. But for you to be able to teach senior students, you have to
have a bachelor's degree.
Have a bachelor's degree, and also maybe have a C+ and above in the major subject that you intend to teach. At least you have something like a C+ for you to be able to
teach that class.
To teach that class. And for a primary school teacher, you can begin low, start with a certificate as you upgrade. The government has allowed us to most of our students, when they graduate, not all of them make it to university.
Of course,
but it is considering the ones, whoever that wanted to become a teacher, you can start as a primary school teacher and then upgrade by the time, until you become maybe a secondary school teacher.
Do you have, I'm sorry, in Nigeria, I went to College of Education, and it's not a university per se. It's like a bridge between secondary school and university. So when I went to College of Education, because getting university in Nigeria is tough. It's hard work, it's really tough. So I couldn't go directly to any university. So I did the College of Education. And then when I went to university, I went to Obafemi Awolowo University in Ile-Ife. And at that university, they let me start at 200 level because I already had the College of Education certificate. So I was supposed to spend 3 years in school instead of 4 or 5 or whatever, although I spent like 6 years because of strikes and all kinds of craziness going on in Nigeria, But, I was supposed to spend 3 years because I already did 3 years in College of Education. But that's a different story. But is there anything like that in Kenya where you have College of Education and you can even work with College of Education? You don't even need to have a degree, But if you want to further and have